Hey, everybody, welcome back to the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by DEK Roofing Incorporated of South Florida. We are very proud to be part of the Variety Sports Network. And of course, the show comes to you live from the Frank Walker Law Studio. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, Aaron. You have a lot of problem, or what's he saying? I've got a lot of problems with you people. Well, listen here, Mr. Costanza.
You're like 2 weeks early, buddy.
Yeah.
Not quite though.
Yeah, it's what is it? The 22nd,
23rd.
3rd. Yeah,
we will have an episode that night though, because
we
Christmas
will.
is Thursday, so we will have a Festivus episode.
Yes, there will be another Festivus episode, one of the great episodes of the year. Don't miss it. Okay. Well, what do you know? The Steelers go into Baltimore and get a huge win. And to the point that Ben's moniker is tonight, maybe the Ravens just aren't that good. But then again, we don't want to shortchange ourselves.
Their defense just, I was like.
Well, yeah. Let me do just a couple of quick introductory things, Ben, and we'll get into it. But I do want to send out our very best wishes to a great friend of this program, Ellie Finnerty, who is occasionally on the show. It's been a little while, but Ellie is from the UK, and most people, when she's on, they tune in just to hear her swear and go through the different versions of bad words. But she's a huge Steelers fan. She's absolutely loves Troy Polamalu. But the reason I'm mentioning her tonight is because she got engaged, and we're all very, very excited for her. Other than the fact that her soon-to-be significant other is a Dolphins fan.
He lives in Florida.
I mean, there's worse things. Could have been Browns, Bengals, could have been worse.
The dude is he lives in Florida. I mean, what are his options? I mean, if you live in Orlando, you can be a Tampa fan or you can be a Dolphins fan,
Well, yeah, you kind of have the three. No way in hell are you going to be a Jags fan, right?
Nah. I mean, I wouldn't think.
Right. I mean, unless you're in Jacksonville,
having lived in Jacksonville proper for a couple of years, I can tell you Florida is it's divided in so much as you got Central Florida, which is kind of a thing unto itself.
Right.
Basically, that whole Disney complex around Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tourist driven. Then you've got South Florida. 4 really, because you got the West Coast.
Yep.
You've got
Fort Myers,
Tampa, St. Pete, and Fort Myers. And then you've got North Florida, which is basically, the fucking Wild West. I mean, they brag about the fact that it's not Florida, it's South Georgia. I'm like, all right, well, whatever, man. I don't really care.
This has been Florida Geography with Ben.
Hey, thank you.
This is the new fucking with it. Hey, okay,
and it's just the worst fucking town I've ever lived in. Joe can tell you he spent a couple years there.
Joe's been there too. Okay, hello, Joe.
Oh yeah, he spent a couple years at one of the naval air bases there. In
yeah. There's a few down there for sure.
Bunch.
Game balls. We didn't do it last week because, let's be honest, coming off that Buffalo loss, the only person that maybe deserved a game ball was, I don't know, nobody. So
Ben
Ian,
Skoranek?
who gets your game ball from Sunday's 27-22 win over the Ravens?
I'm going to give it to Aaron Rodgers for actually pushing the ball down the field, and that did help the offense overall, not just from getting chunk plays and moving the ball, but also converting some third downs, kept us on the field, but it pushed the safeties back. It kept Kyle Hamilton more out of the box, right? That opened up a little bit more room for the running game. The running game wasn't great, but was able to pick up some key yards when they needed to. And so I'm going with Rodgers.
Love it. Scarpino, who is your game ballers?
He's going to give it to Mason Rudolph for kissing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I was about to say they looked like they had a little brotherly love moment.
Which, by the way, my name is a Kiss reference for that reason.
Roger, love it.
R.I.P. Ace Frehley. I was probably going to go Rodgers too, so I'm going to try to.
That's fine.
I think I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go with a game ball to the officials.
Oh,
why? What?
Here we go.
And
Are you shitting me? Okay, go ahead.
And all game, Steelers fans on Twitter or X were like, "This is fucking rigged. This is fucking bullshit." And then that penalty on Travis Jones absolutely changed the game because they got an extra 4, which made in turn Baltimore go for it in a later game situation.
True.
No, I'm not going to be a dick like that. Game ball, I'll go Alex Highsmith because
he had a monster game.
They should have traded him. He sucks. He's always hurt. And Nick Herbig is way better. Oh, that's right. It's good to have depth at outside linebacker.
Yes,
and you know what? Alex Highsmith is a pretty good football player. Yeah, he has been hurt, but you know what? He stepped up big time, and he might have to step up again this week if TJ Watt can't go.
That dude had a huge game. I mean, he was the best player on defense, bar none.
Yeah,
absolutely.
From a consistent standpoint, I thought Highsmith probably had one of the best games he's had in a while.
I thought he had a good game, and then I watched the film, and I was like, holy shit, he had a great game. Yeah. Oh, my God.
He did some really nice things. I would love to be able to say that he helped shut down the Baltimore running game, but that's not so much. But he did a lot of really, really nice things. Yeah. Ben, who gets your game ball for the week?
I'm going to go with the offensive line, man, for once, including Dylan Cook, who came in off the practice squad and actually performed pretty well. They gave Rodgers a lot of time all game long, and it wasn't like he was trying to get rid of the ball fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to give the offensive line some props. They actually were able to push the ball downfield. Rodgers didn't have to throw to the first outlet option he had every snap after 1 or 2 reads.
God.
And I really thought they played a heck of a game. I was really impressed. But I do think that your 2 game balls, Scarps and Ian, were definitely worthy. Absolutely. Especially fucking Highsmith. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with DK Metcalf. And for two reasons. One, it was really the first time he has looked like a true number 1 wide receiver in this offense. And maybe a couple other exceptions along the way. But one of the things I loved about this performance was the fact that he jumped in voluntarily to be a gunner on the punt team. Look, you are not going to see very many number 1 wide receivers do that.
Nope.
I'm sure all of them would say, "Oh yeah, I would do it." But I'm sorry, I don't think many of them would. That is a thankless position. It is just a tough position to do. And granted, I understand he did it one time. It's not like he did it all game or anything like that. But he didn't have to do it. That's
I'm sure he did it once in college.
Oh yeah, he said he did it in high school a lot.
Did he?
And look, man, when you're his size and his speed, you probably thoroughly enjoy doing it at that level. You're probably killing people. So no, that's where
most teams don't. Yeah, most teams don't do that because they're like, it's just not worth the risk.
Well, sure.
It's a high speed, high impact assignment running down the field, and you're more likely to get injured, which is why they use like a fast minimum salary guy. But they needed that. They needed that punt to get shut down. They needed it badly as the end of the game. And he was like, yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it. Put me in there.
One quick note about Highsmith, and I just looked this up, but he's now 10th all time in sacks in Steelers history.
No shit.
Nice.
And I posted on X, but he sucks. He's always hurt. Trade him. Herbig. It's like, holy fuck. Like, honestly, Alex Highsmith is having a better year than TJ Watt. And like, obviously we'll talk about TJ, and I hope TJ is okay. Like, obviously,
we'll get to that next.
Scary situation, but like, there's nothing wrong with having good players at the same position. I mean, fuck, like I don't know why everyone was so obsessed with trading him. And by the way, the only time he's ever missed games is last year and this year, but in 9 games this year, he's been more productive than TJ has in 11 games.
Yeah.
9-11, RIP. I'm just saying.
He
had some drinks.
when Highsmith is healthy,
13 games. My bad. He's missed more. Sorry.
Okay, when Highsmith is really healthy, he's really, really effective. And yeah, I get the fan frustration because he is out a lot. I understand it. But when that dude is in, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. He had a monster game. I mean, he was just creating havoc.
And I think, Herbig is doing a better job at setting the edge. I'm not going to say he's where he needs to be in that department, but he's doing better, and that's now. That's all I can ask.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any argument that the guy is an absolute relentless monster as a pass rusher. I would never argue that. I just think still right now, when you have a healthy Highsmith, he just gives you a little bit more all around game right now. And again, healthy being the very, very key word. And of course, that does also apply to TJ Watt too, guys. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And look, none of us, I want to make very, very clear, none of us on this program are medical professionals.
No.
And so we are not going to claim we know anything from just what has been said. We are only discussing what we have learned or gleaned or whatever you want to call it. But the story goes, TJ was in the facility on Wednesday and was getting treatment by the athletic staff, and said he did not feel well. There was something going on with his lung, and they decided this was something they couldn't deal with right there at the facility, so they got him to the hospital. He spent the night last night, and it sounds like he's still there today. But the one thing it doesn't sound like is a lot of us were perhaps suggesting that this was like a Tyrod Taylor type thing. Did he get an injection and somebody, nicked the lung and that? But it doesn't sound that. And I want to welcome in Kirk to the show. He says Pro Football Doc on X hypothesizing or
hypothesizing.
Thank you. I suddenly forgot my words.
Embolism.
Pulmonary, and I'm not going to say that's not it. That doc knows way in the hell more than I ever did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is scary,
which is a blood clot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's scary. And look, I am not going to try to guess whether or not he's going to be available on Monday, because right now he needs to worry about being available, period, for his wife and child and all that stuff. And that's scary, man. He's 31 years old, and that's the kind of shit you don't want to deal with. But what, ultimately, Ian, what does this look like for the Steelers if he can't go?
Well, I mean, we talked about the two guys, right? You got Highsmith and Herbig, and you drafted Jack Sawyer. He's gotten some snaps this year. He'll probably get more snaps, but it's pretty much going to be the Highsmith and Sawyer show, and they're probably going to have to. Do they have another edge rusher on the practice squad right now?
I think Leal is still on the practice squad. He has that capability, but
yeah, I mean, they'll probably make him active for game day. I will say, and injury wise in general, we got beat up in Baltimore too. There was a lot of concussions in that game.
Both teams did.
Yeah, It was a hard hitting physical game. And I was thinking about it afterwards, after I, enjoyed the moment that we won.
Sure.
That it is a little beneficial we're playing on Monday night, because especially those concussions, you get an extra day of that concussion protocol and testing. So, there is an extra day for TJ too. But Mark, you're absolutely right. Like, first and foremost is just his health personally, just being available for life, not football. We hope that everything's okay with him, just generally speaking. And football is secondary to just being a healthy human being and be able to live your life. But on the field, it's going to be Highsmith and Herbig. And I mean, Achan's a good running back who's really quick. So there's going to be a lot falling on, especially I'd say the inside linebackers, Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen this week, as far as just marking Achan everywhere he goes and not letting him turn the corner, because they'll run him on wheel routes. They'll run him on swing passes, which we've said we don't defend. So it's going to be, that's going to be the big matchup issue this week is defending Achane and how they do that.
Ben, you assume they'll probably drag somebody in off practice squad as well? If TJ
for depth. Depth. I don't necessarily think that guy will get a lot of reps. They've got 3 serviceable outside linebackers. So that's typically what they play during the course of a game.
Right.
I think they're playing Sawyer. They're giving him some snaps because they want him to get some experience. But I memean, he's averaging about 15 snaps a game on defense. He's not playing a lot. No. So, maybe their 4th outside linebacker this week will get some work. Maybe he won't. I don't know. It's not, there's nothing there that says he definitely has to is all.
Right.
Right. They could have that guy play special teams though. So there's that. So they don't, speculation, and it's all speculation, is that it's not a pneumothorax, which is where the lung is punctured and then deflates. So you get a collapsed lung. Because if that had happened during training, which is apparently when they think this happened in the training room while he was getting treatment,
right,
he would have felt it immediately, and they would have had to take him to the hospital immediately. And instead, what he did was he got treatment, went to the cafeteria, didn't feel right. Couldn't figure out what it was. It kept getting worse. The doctors came into the cafeteria because somebody said something's wrong with TJ, and they went, "Yeah, you need to go to the hospital."
Jesus.
Now, and nobody's talking about it, and I get it.
No.
The NFLPA is involved now.
Is that standard? I didn't want to, when that came across today, I didn't want to jump the gun like, oh, geez, the NFLPA, something happened. I mean, is that standard?
Well, they've got to make sure that their members were treated correctly.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean, that's why they're involved. It could be that he was injured in the facility through is improper the right word? Somebody made a mistake with medical care, and if that's the case, they're going to investigate it, and there are going to be repercussions. I don't know about consequences. That's probably the wrong way to put it, but there are going to be repercussions. And they've got a duty to be involved and know what happened and what's being done to prevent it from happening again. That's their responsibility. So
right, Scarps, you've probably dealt with something similar to this, I would guess, when you were there.
What do you mean?
Well, just in the sense that if a player or even if the team feels that the NFLPA needs to be brought in on something.
Well, I would just say there's a couple things that these are the things that happen as information rolls out, and in this day and age when everything's at your fingertips, and we were all on our Slack chat, we're talking about it, and because it's obviously because it's big news. I mean, arguably the Steelers' best player, something happened, and then Schefter reported it was the injury occurred during his treatment, which it could have, but it also could have been they identified the injury during his treatment, which it's more information because and then the NFLPA is involved. So I think that's just like a standard. Like anytime a player is at the facility and something happens,
makes sense.
And and I don't know the exact protocols, but the thing I said to these, the thing I said to these guys, and which has me concerned, is that the team released a statement, and it's a Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have an injury report yesterday.
Nope.
And if it was just something that was minor, they could have just said, "Hey guys, TJ's ill. I excused him." And Mike could have said this, "Hey, TJ's sick. I excused him from the practice today."
Yeah.
Remember Cole Holcomb for like the last couple of weeks had an illness.
Oh,
3 weeks.
It was 3 weeks in a row.
And then he played last week. So the fact that they released the statement, and then Mike talked about it after the game, and then Mike said, he's comfortable. And then Alex Highsmith said, "Oh, it's a scary situation, but he's in good spirits." I mean, that's not encouraging to me. at all. And they didn't say anything. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole by saying this, but like,
no,
it's not like they were like, oh God, like, it's serious. Like this is, and I didn't expect them to say that, but it's not like they were like, oh, he's fine. It's just a precaution. He'll be back. Sort of like the DK Metcalf thing where Mike was like, I don't expect him to have any limitations this week. And then today DK Metcalf was like, I'm good. So when the head coach says that and the wide receivers say it, it's like, okay, everything's fine. But then this all of a sudden pops up today. Bert issues a statement.
Right.
They didn't necessarily have to issue a statement if it wasn't as serious. So, and I don't know in about Pro Football Doc, because that guy's taken a lot of shit over the years, and he's right. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's not.
Right.
But he's also basing analysis off of fucking film or hearsay or reporting. It's not
that,
like
and he's an orthopod. This is not his area of special expertise. No, he's an orthopedic surgeon. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
I mean, he is a doctor
of the Stegosaurus.
He is a doctor.
Yes,
he is. He's not.
I know. But it's just like the fact that they released a statement. I don't know, and they released a statement for DK, but also he didn't fly home with the team, so it's like. People would have been like, where's DK Metcalf?
Right.
Nobody would have probably questioned if TJ had the shits today, like for lack of a better term.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's December, mid-December, people get norovirus. So like, I don't know, man. And I don't want to speculate. And that's the other thing. That's the thing that pissed me off. And you guys didn't do this, but right away, Steelers Twitter was like, oh, here we go. Tyrod Taylor situation. They should fire, fuck them people that say that, because I know the people on that medical staff. And do you think they would ever purposefully fucking harm TJ Watt? Do you think the guy on the Chargers purposely wanted to harm Tyrod Taylor? Like, and everyone's like, well, Justin Herbert started because of it. Yeah, but Tyrod Taylor sued the Chargers for that and won millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So fucking stop. Like, I know I'm an asshole online occasionally, but like, take a fucking minute.
Occasionally?
Fine. Take a minute and be like, you know what? Do I really need to say this right now? Like,
good advice.
Do I really need to be like, oh, this is fucking Tyrod Taylor 2.0? It's like, you don't know shit. You act like you were in the fucking training room with him and know what happened, or as Ben alluded to, had some inside information. You followed him to the cafeteria and we're like, oh, he's not choking on some cashews. We got to make sure he's okay. I talk about, Melvin? What are you talking about?
Well, he T Mills was asking Melvin in reference to a comment that he had made about the Dr. Chow stuff, and look, you guys made the point. I don't need to rehash it. Just that Dr. Chow is many times he's looking at the same sort of film and footage that we are, and he's trying to make a diagnosis based off of that. And sometimes he's right, and sometimes he's really wrong. Much in the same way that we're sometimes wrong in our analysis and stuff. Doesn't happen very often on this program, but occasionally.
Never.
Yeah. Ian, as far as the game on Sunday, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did any of us pick the game correctly?
Still dad then.
What?
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't. As a matter of fact, you three all had Baltimore winning. I had the Steelers 20-17 over the Ravens because I believed.
You missed the score because it went over. So
yes, it did. It did. But I at least had the black and gold victorious. But be that as it may, Ian, why can't we stop the run right now?
Oh, that is a good question, Mark.
Because it's not all Derek Harmon.
It is Derek Harmon.
That does play a big role in it. It
does, but
yeah. The stat was out there today that and I think it was Alan from Pittsburgh Sports Now that put it out there. Yeah. But with Harmon in the lineup, they're giving up like 91 yards rushing a game, and with him out of the lineup, it's like 191. Like, it is
196.
196. Okay.
Dude, it is insane, the difference.
Yes. Yeah, it's absurd, the differential.
So what is his presence do that the other guys aren't doing? Ian?
Good question. So I think, honestly, a lot of it is him being a space eater in the middle and his ability to just eat up blockers and free up the linebackers to go make plays. And a lot of that is, some of it is the linebackers getting washed out. And, when you see guards getting free releases, right? And it's like, if a guard's getting a free release to a linebacker, it's trouble from the get-go. And
Benton's fucking terrible. Oh my God.
Is it just me or has he regressed? I don't remember him being this
he's never been a space eater. He's been a guy that gets off blocks quickly and penetrates. He penetrates. He's not an ideal person to put at nose tackle. It's like they put him in that position because they wanted him to be a starter and get lots of reps because they thought he'd make a difference. But he's just not the right, in my opinion, not the right guy for it.
Y.A. Black has shown some good things, but the other thing the Steelers do, and they did this against Buffalo, they did it against Baltimore, they've done it all season, is they'll match personnel. So if the other team brings in 3 wide receivers, if they go 11 personnel, the Steelers are taking a defensive lineman out and bringing in a nickelback, which usually is a good decision. But what Baltimore's done, what Buffalo did before that, was they'll run the ball out of those sets. And when you have fewer linemen in there and those guys aren't, two gapping and aren't taking up 2 blockers, then you're getting, sometimes 2 linemen free releasing to the inside linebackers, and there's just huge holes for them to run through.
Right.
Now, yes, Derrick Henry's a good running back. He's tough to bring down. I thought for a large part of the game,
they did a good job.
Pretty good job.
Yeah.
But still, it's one of those things where you gotta. Last week on the show, our motto was sack up, right? I think we all said sack up at least 3 times. That they gotta just sack up in the trenches and stop getting their ass kicked, and go play football and just beat the guy in front of you, and stay in your gap, right? Part of it is too, when you go back and watch the tape, some of the new guys that they've brought in throughout the year through the practice squad or whatever else, the depth guys that are getting rotational snaps, are going in and going to the wrong gap, or their assignment is one gap, and then the running back starts to go one way, so they switch and take somebody else's gap, and then he cuts back through that hole. So you got to be gap sound, you got to control your gaps, but also you got to just beat the guy in front of you too. So and I've seen other teams do this. I don't remember who it was, but I saw some people on Twitter talking about it, that, now the trend with some of the more modern defenses is basically you play the situation, you play the down and distance. So if you're in a running situation, you're playing your base defense. You're not playing your nickel defense. And if they pass on you, you're hoping your linebackers can cover somebody, right? Or you're playing 1 safety deep instead of 2, whatever it is, right? That, if it's a running down situation, you're playing your 3 down linemen, even if they've got 3 wide receivers in there. You're not swapping that out for a nickelback. So, maybe they have to start considering that a little bit instead of just matching players to personnel. You got to play the situation too. But it's not a good situation in the run defense right now. But this is not the first time we've won a game giving up a shitload of running yards either. No. So the way
it's always against the Ravens too.
It is. That's true. But the way the modern NFL is, I can think of plenty of games too where we ran the ball. Remember when D'Angelo Williams ran the ball for 100 yards in the first half, and then we wound up losing the games. We couldn't actually score points. He was just running between the 20s.
Yes.
Yeah. That might have been against Baltimore also, actually, now that I think about it. But stopping the pass is the way to win in this league. And if you give up a ton of rushing yards, you got to find other ways to keep up points wise. But we were leading for pretty much the whole game. So when you're playing from ahead and the other team's running the ball, that also helps you a little bit because it does wind the clock more too.
Ben, you made some good points this week. Just related to the statistics, the numbers the Ravens put up in the fourth quarter.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, being aided a little bit by the fact that the Steelers had 3 straight 3-and-outs, and that they were still kind of using the run even though they were behind.
Well, they were playing against a garbage time defense, and they ran up a bunch of yards, but they didn't get points.
Mm-hmm.
So the defense tightened up in the red zone, in the red area, but they just kept letting them go as long as they were running the clock. They ended the fourth quarter with an 11-point lead, and they started playing soft. And honestly, watching the game, I was nervous. I was like, you can't fucking do this.
Yes.
You can't do this. This is the Ravens. You can't do this. Points are at a premium here. But to their credit, they gave up 6 points during that quarter. It was a little nerve-wracking at various points, especially given the fact that the offense could not sustain a drive to save their fucking lives. But I think the overarching point about the game, to me, looking back at the drive chart, is field position. I mean, Tomlin talks about this shit all the time. The Steelers had shorter fields, and they scored more touchdowns than the Ravens did, and that was the difference in the game. And Scars, I agree with you. I think the NFL admitted later that was a bad call when
Travis Jones
crashed in on the long snapper, whose name escapes me right now.
Christian Kuntz.
I think the ref thought he hit him in the head or neck area, and I think that's why he threw it. Because it doesn't matter what your intent was. If you hit him in the head or neck when he's looking down, you're getting the flag every fucking time. I saw him hit him in the shoulder, but it was a little high, and I was like, that's probably why he got it. I didn't really get it at the time, but I was like, fuck it. It's the Ravens. I mean, people are forgetting about the fuck the Ravens rule, and I'm fine with that as long as the Steelers benefit by it. It's totally fine. So it was a good call as far as I'm concerned, although it probably wasn't actually a good call. And then, they had the thing where Rodgers almost turned it over. No, Rodgers had the ball in his hand before the other guy grabbed it.
A lot easier to call than.
And then he got down on his knees. He was down. He had control of the ball. That was an easy one for me. And then what was the other call that was questionable that they were bitching about?
Jesse James.
Oh, the
Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah Likely. By rule, stupid rule, in my opinion. I want to be very clear. Stupid rule. They need to fix it. We've been talking about it since Jesse James. They made small changes to it, but you still have to make a football move after you get it. And that amounts to either falling down and completing the catch, falling to the ground, surviving the ground, so to speak, or making a move. Am I? Making a move common to the game, which would have been a fair step. And before he could, it got batted out.
Well, in credit to Joey Porter Jr. for playing through it, because he could have easily said, fuck it.
Okay, so real quick.
Yeah.
The eye test.
Right.
Jesse James is a touchdown. Isaiah Likely is a touchdown.
Yes.
By rule, Jesse James did not survive the ground.
Right.
Isaiah Likely didn't make that third move or whatever it is. Okay.
Agree.
But let's not let Joey Porter Jr. off the hook. And Casey's going to talk a little bit
he got
about
beat badly on the play. I'm not even talking about that part.
So everyone's sitting there saying that, like, oh, well, at least he didn't give up on a play. If they fucking called that a touchdown, and you know what? These officials cannot be trusted. And I know every scoring play is reviewable, but earlier in the game, I didn't think that Zay Flowers catch was a catch. And I don't even know if that DK Metcalf catch was a catch.
I didn't think Zay Flowers' catch was a catch, but when I watched the replay after, I was like, no, that's actually a catch.
Why? Okay. What changed for you?
See, subjective. We all have a different.
He had 2 feet in. He did survive the ground. Yes, the ball touched the ground, but it wasn't moving. The ball can touch the ground.
Yes.
That's okay. I thought that was a good call. I didn't like the fact that they got it because it's the Ravens, but I thought it was a good call. I also thought the DK catch was a good catch.
So the point being is that there is there's subjectivity in this whole thing, and even though every score is reviewable and all that stuff.
Yep.
But like in the middle of the field, Isaiah Likely is not going to extend the ball like that. He extended the ball to keep it away from the defender because he was in the end zone. And Joey Porter Jr. got lucky because he just kept going at it after he got beat. He was
I don't think
done.
He got lucky.
Oh, bullshit.
I think that's oversimplifying. He didn't get lucky. He's got some long ass. No, he didn't. He's got some long ass arms and he kept playing through the play. That's not luck.
Through what play, though? Here's my point. Through what play? Because if you get 2 feet in, toe tap, and you control the ball, it's over.
I agree.
Over and you get a
touchdown. That should be a catch.
Right.
That should be
no
a
argument
catch.
There. No
In
argument.
my opinion, that should be a catch. You catch the ball and you drop it, it should be a fumble, not an incompletion. It's a fucking fumble. But the NFL doesn't see it that way. And again, by rule, that call was correct. Stupid rule.
Okay.
But by rule, correct.
So can we all agree? Can we all agree on this? That do we credit anyone for Jesse James not catching that ball?
Fuck no.
Okay, so then why should we credit? Why should we credit Joey Porter Jr. for just hacking away after he got beat on a play where the guy clearly caught? That was it was a touchdown
because
not
he didn't
by rule.
give up because he didn't give up on the play and he kept playing through. That's why you give him credit. I'm not saying.
He got absolutely torched, but two things can also be true.
He should be lauded for it, but
people are lauding him for it. They're acting like he played great that game because of that play. He was fucking terrible last week.
I'm talking about one split second of that game. I'm not talking about his whole game. I'm talking about the fact that he got beat on the play, and all he did is he kept behind. And
was Likely his man.
That's it. I would have to go back and look at that part of it, Ben.
Was Likely his man on the play? I didn't understand why he was the guy who knocked the ball out from a tight end. I was like, you got a tight end in the middle of the back end of the end zone. You're a boundary corner. Right. Why the fuck is that your man? I didn't get it.
Okay. If the referees did not apply the rule correctly, which happens all the time, what would we be saying right now about Joey Porter Jr.?
They ruled it touchdown on the field.
Okay.
It was overturned by replay.
Okay, and if replay didn't get it right, what would we be saying about Joey Porter Jr. right now? We'd be saying, he got fucking beat.
He got beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair. I can live with that.
Okay, but in the end, he didn't hear because he kept playing through the whistle. And that's the thing they teach you from the time you're fucking peewee football. Play through the whistle. Play through the whistle. You don't know what can happen. You play through the whistle. You never stop.
That, man.
You never stop.
We're not saying that he didn't get beat. We're not saying that he didn't have other moments in the game where he got absolutely torched. I'm just saying in that one moment, he played through the whistle.
I think he played through the whistle because he was pissed off that he got beat.
I would hope so.
I
would hope that's why.
I don't think there was any emotion in that moment. You're not really thinking right then. You're reacting.
I'm okay if there was.
It's just I don't know why I'm on this. I just I
don't know why you are either. I mean, it's just it's one of these things where the call was correct.
Okay.
Stupid rule.
Because
I think the four of us agree. Stupid rule, right?
Okay, because the reason last thing, the reason is because I lived through this. We all lived through this with the Jesse James play.
Yep.
So we should be fair to both sides. That's the way I look at it. And fuck the Ravens, whatever. But you know what?
There is the fucking Ravens rule.
And that's what Ben Roethlisberger said. And people fucking shit on him for saying that. That's my point. Because Ben said that he thought it was a touchdown. He thought it should have been a touchdown. He should have been.
I do too.
Hey, listen.
I do as well.
If you're an offensive player, especially a quarterback,
I need to let God, Melvin. You're right, man.
And you still,
I got your 50 coming in the mail. I got you. I got a nice card for you.
If you are an offensive player, especially a receiver or a quarterback, and you see a play like that, you're always going to see touchdown. It doesn't matter.
Right.
All right.
Because that is the way.
I'm just pissed off.
That is the way you see the game. And I do not disagree that it should be that way. But the rule is this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the Jesse James play.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. No doubt. Let's
Where's
move
the
over.
Tylenol?
Yeah. Who needs a drink?
Speaking of drinks, Melvin did ask us if we missed that portion of the show, what are we drinking tonight? Ian, what do you got going tonight for your libations?
I have some very delicious redemption rye because we got redemption in beating the bum-ass Ravens.
Well played. Ben, what do you got going?
I'm drinking the Tin Cup Rye.
Oh, nice.
Because
there it is. Yeah.
It was in my liquor cabinet, and it was I was like, I don't remember what this is like. And it's okay. Okay. I think it was on sale.
Very well could be.
Yeah. Anyway, and I'm drinking Blue Moon Belgian White, which I don't actually love, but somebody left it here, so it was free.
That's
free beer.
Yeah. Free beer is always delicious. I
put the orange in it.
No, hell no, man. Don't put fruit in beer. Fuck that.
Summertime for sure.
So you don't put a lime in a Corona either?
Nah.
Oh, see, I do. Yeah.
I put a little salt in it though.
Oh,
I'm a fan of that.
Okay. Little Michter's
nice
blended American whiskey. I'm really enjoying that. And I also have some of my Foggy Geezer Hazy India Pale Ale.
Very appropriate. Foggy Geezer.
Foggy Geezer. You got that Geezer. Right, baby. Ian, let's talk a little bit of offense. I said, is that Yingling Lager?
Yeah, the Piner. Let's go.
Delicious. Fantastic. I said in the 3-point stance going into this game that one of the things I wanted to see was to see us take shots that weren't on 3rd and 3. Okay, I wanted to see us take some shots.
Took some shots on third
down. On the first down, on second down. I want to see some shots, and they did that. Why do you think they finally changed to that, Ian? Is there anything that you picked up on to say, finally Artie picked up on it? I don't know.
It wasn't hard.
I mean, so thinking about the chess match of a football game, right? That you've got our tendencies of we never throw the ball deep. We haven't completed a deep pass in a month. Everything is short, right?
Right.
You've got the Ravens, for those that put stock in it, EPA, WPA, whatever you want to call it, expected points added, win probability added, whatever statistic you want to use. With Kyle Hamilton back, him playing up close to the line, their defense has been a lot better in those categories. So, they were pressing us on the outside and trying to take away the short stuff and basically daring us to throw over the top. And we came out right from the beginning and hit them with one deep. And I think that sparked some confidence because the last couple games, it's really seemed a lot like they just didn't have confidence in the deep ball, and they would try it once and be like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, we'll not ever do that again. And it really did kind of seem like this week they gained some confidence through hitting that first one in what they could do throwing the ball long. And then they just stuck with it and did it again and again and again. And, it wasn't like every pass was a deep pass, but they did it enough to make the Ravens respect it, that changed how the Ravens were having to play defense against them too.
I think you're overthinking it.
Okay, why is he overthinking it?
Basically, the Ratbirds came out and they were stacking the box and stopped the run, and they did a great job versus the run. I got to give them props, and they knew
total yards.
They knew that the Steelers' strength on offense was the run, and they played a lot of cover one, man over with. They were bracketing DK, but that was the only guy they were bracketing. So given the coverage schemes, it was just something that they could do. When Rodgers saw a corner up close to the line with DK, he knew DK was going to beat the guy off the line in press. And he was throwing routes he knew DK could catch.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line. I mean, it was the Ravens were giving it to us. They kept moving Hamilton up, and he's a really dynamic player, super dynamic, but they kept moving him up into the box, and it's like, well, if you're going to do that, all right, well, just throw it over his head.
Well, Ben, what was DK going to do?
What was he going to do?
What did you just say that DK was going to do?
Beat him off the line? How old are we?
12-year-old Ian has joined the show.
That's Ian's kid, actually, sitting in that seat now.
Right. Yeah,
the question,
Melvin, great point, because on the camera view from behind the play, you literally could see Pat Freiermuth with no one within 15 yards of him.
Doing this.
That was
but
completely
Rodgers doesn't like him, so don't worry about it. It's fine.
That was do you guys, Scarps, do you think that Artie Smith has figured out any sort of rotation with Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell yet, or is he still trying to figure it out?
I want to make a quick point about the Ravens defense. I don't know what they were doing perhaps. All right, and I'm going to say this. This is a mid-division. Yeah. What did I say earlier? This is an average football team in a bad division in a mid-conference. Yeah. And the Steelers and Ravens just happen to be those two mid-teams. Yeah. And if the Bengals had half a defense, they might be winning the division right now. It's unbelievable.
But they don't have half a defense.
Correct.
No.
So, I don't know what the Ravens were thinking, because if you want to give up that chunk play on that first play of the game, okay, totally get it. But they were giving Rodgers that play all the time.
Yeah.
And in the fourth quarter, we went our typical conservative, don't lose the game bullshit. I don't know what they were doing on defense. And I think part of it is that, they let the other Mike McDonald go to Seattle, who's doing pretty well. Not Sean McDonald, different spelling. And Zach Orr is just not the best coordinator. But get back to your question still, Dad. I just wanted to bring that up. What is it?
Yeah. Well, it feels to me like Arthur Smith is
Artie Smith, my bad.
He hasn't figured out, and I'm not saying there is a perfect rotation, because every game dictates something different. But Gainwell and Warren.
Well, so I'm going to say this is that this is what I've noticed, and I am a Jaylen Warren fan, and the more I want him to get the ball in the red zone, I also look at like Kenny G. The guy has been very, very good this year.
Yes,
and he almost always gets into the end zone in the red zone, and I said this way early in the season. I said I actually think they're going to do running back by committee, and I just didn't expect Kenny G to overtake Jaylen Warren. And most teams do this. Especially I know the Chiefs are bad this year, but how many years did the Chiefs had a running back by committee? Damian Williams, Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, like these guys. So like the fact that the Steelers are using these guys, and they're not necessarily, and so Arthur Smith taketh and giveth, right? It's like you want your guy in fantasy football to be there in the crunch time because you want him to get a touchdown. But at the same time, you're like, damn, Kenny G's always getting to the end zone. So I don't think he necessarily has an order or a structure. I think he goes by feel, and I don't necessarily know if that's the best thing, but the difference maker in that game the other day was Rodgers. And I just like as Ben says, maybe the Ravens do actually suck and we suck a little bit less.
Their defense is not what I thought it was,
but
for sure.
But the fact that Kyle Hamilton wasn't on Rodgers' ass the whole game blows my mind, because Kyle Hamilton is an all-pro type player, man.
He had that one really, really big hit on Darnell Washington.
Yes.
Other than that, he was kind of invisible.
And it's very strange to me because, I do think our line is playing better, but also, again, I'm not the X's and O's guy or whatever, but watch it from television. I'm like,
right.
I'd probably bring Hamilton here. If I was the D coordinator, I'd probably dial something up here for him, because I don't know if they'd be expecting, and he never came.
No.
That's what she said. So I don't know what's going on in Baltimore, but they could still win the division, oddly enough.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, mathematically, the Bengals are still alive.
Yep, believe it or not.
The AFC North, which looked like a really strong division at the beginning of the season, is going to send one team to the playoffs, and the second place team is going to be like the 9 or 10 seed.
Yeah. It's a pleasure having T. Mills tonight. This guy's got a sense of humor that fits this show perfectly.
T. Mills, don't put that voodoo on me, man.
Yeah, don't put that voodoo out there, dude. No.
I mean, I've been saying, the next year's quarterback is Anthony Richardson. So,
shut up, dude. Stop. Jesus, man.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
That dude shouldn't even be in the NFL next year.
No.
Fuck.
Cousins. You know who, by the way, just we're talking AFC North, you know who Joe Burrow is on track to be right now? Dan Marino.
Oh.
Get to a Super Bowl early in his career, lose it.
Oh, Dan Marino, yeah.
Think you're going to get a bunch more, and man, I'm telling you, I'm not saying he won't get back.
That press conference he gave this week, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he looks like he looks and sounds like an emo kid that just had his CDs taken away.
He wasn't that emo, but I don't think that he's happy in Cincinnati. I get the sense that maybe he's looking to get out.
Wow. That would be
he basically was like, there's just a lot going on right now here. And if I'm gonna keep doing this, I've got to be happy doing it.
And I don't blame him. I mean, I don't.
No, I mean they've given him weapons, but they sure as hell haven't given him much to protect him.
Yeah, again, that from the Bengals standpoint, they're like, well, we gave you both the wide receivers you wanted. What are you bitching about? I don't know. I'd like an offensive line that can block and maybe a defense that can keep a team under 30.
Yeah.
How about I love Joe Burrow. I don't give a fuck. Fucking find a way to get him here.
Yeah, I mean they would never do it.
That's why,
Melvin. But yeah, hell, I'd do it.
Oh, why not? I would love that. I would fucking love that.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, seriously. I mean, tomorrow I give up 3 first-round picks for him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
3 first-round picks? Wow.
Well, I do 3. I do 2.
Here you go.
I would do.
I do 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is. And I mean, look at them in the couple games that he's been back. The 2 games he's back, they're scoring in the 30s. Of their defense is shit, and I thought their defense might be a little bit better. But
he sees the game, before it happens.
Well, he throws guys open too. He's one of those rare guys that has that ability.
He throws the ball with anticipation so well.
Yeah.
But I would do it. I'd do it in a fucking heartbeat. I mean, that guy on the right team is a Hall of Famer. On the team he's on now, no.
Well, and he's got to get healthy. He's got to stay healthy too.
Man, I don't see them trading him to an interdivisional trade. But
this is a good point by
I would do it
by Saab. Niners traded 3 first. Oh my God,
right.
That's a great point. I forgot that.
Real quick to that point about the Niners trade, and the Niners have made all these different moves. They've made trades. They've had bad contracts, good contracts, and they have been more successful than the Steelers have.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like
they have a really outstanding defense and defensive scheme and a camaraderie between those guys that
Saleh can flat out coach, man.
It isn't just Saleh. Yeah. It's like
I know, but
they have leaders on the field that keep that team grounded.
But they might make the fucking playoffs, and they lost Fred Warner, Nick Bosa.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be the equivalent of losing TJ Watt and no, we don't have a Fred Warner, but who's our other best player on defense? Let's just say Cam. They're like losing TJ and Cam and still fucking putting up
but it's like
putting up.
The thing you see on teams like that, and I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but this is something that the teams in the 70s, the Steelers in the 70s and the Steelers in the 90s had in common. I don't know if that's there anymore. And I think the guys in the mid 2000s had it too, was they hung out together. Like they made time to go hang out together. And it wasn't just the offensive line going over to Ben's house for a fucking barbecue.
Yeah.
You know, it's everybody. Like everybody needs to show up. We're all going to hang out here. We're all going to hang out. And we're not going to talk about football. We're going to talk about life. We're just going to be friends for a few hours. And that's something you're seeing on teams like the 49ers and, some others I'm not going to get into. But, the long and the short of it is that I think that's missing right now. And until it comes back, and you got to have guys that insist that it fucking happens,
No, you do. And that's where it starts. And you can talk about it until you're blue in the face, but until guys actually start doing it, then I totally agree with you. There's two other topics I wanted to address before we got into the Dolphins here and then predictions. But Joey Porter, Senior, Mr. Peasy, this week was on Cam Hayward's podcast, which is a fine podcast. Not as good as this one, but it's fine.
Told some fucking ridiculous stories. Anyway, go on.
Well, anyway, he took umbrage or issue with some former players like Ben Roethlisberger and others, suggesting that maybe Mike Tomlin, maybe it's time to clean house. Maybe things aren't so great there anymore. Ian, Peasy puts himself on the other side. He doesn't think that's the case. What is your take on former players weighing in on this period?
I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I don't know. I mean, the guys who aren't in the locker room aren't seeing everything that's going on behind the scenes. They remember how things were when they were there, but not necessarily how things are now. But you're never going to stop former players from talking about from talking about situations, whether it be coaching staff. I mean, heck, how many times have we heard Terry Bradshaw continue to talk about Steelers coaching situations? And he's been, off the team for almost 40 years now, right?
Yeah.
And that's 40 not
plus.
Yeah, exactly. Plus. So I don't know. I mean, people are going to say things, but at the end of the day, Art's not going to fire Mike, right? Art's not going to fire Mike, and we know this. So it's kind of a waste of breath, but it's one of those kind of like, oh, I'm going to spew a hot take to try and get some publicity or something.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a soundbite, right?
And those guys realize that, hey, if idiots like us can have a podcast, well, they can have a podcast too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they can say things. And granted, their podcasts, gain a lot of attention because the media people are watching them. Well, of course, they should be watching this show, but that's their fault for not. And apparently, everybody's leaving the show to go pee. We're about the hour mark, so I guess
so.
Time.
Yeah.
They really need to start wearing Depends like I do, and just let it rip right in the middle of the show. That way I don't have to get up. But that may or may not be true. In any case, I'm not against what Peasy's saying. I'm not against what Big Ben's saying or anything. They have a right to their opinion.
Yeah.
And they certainly have more of a right than I do because they lived it. They were in that locker room. And
right.
I just find it interesting how they kind of go to bat for each other or against each other, depending on the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah. The other topic, and I think Scarps was probably going to touch on this in his Casey segment, which we all know you are here to listen to tonight. Mike Tomlin made a comment this week that this is his 19th year. He's always on the hot seat. Somebody asked him about being on the hot seat. Yeah. Ian, is he always on the hot seat going back to year one of his tenure?
I think in a sense, yes. Like I understood what he meant, right? Like Bill Cowher had just won a Super Bowl and he had an expectation and a legacy to live up to.
Yeah.
And I mean, the running narrative on Mike Tomlin for his whole career here has been, well, Mike Tomlin only won with Bill Cowher's players, right? And there's been a lot of Steelers fans have high expectations, and for a good reason, right?
Yep.
We've always been competitive, and we should always be competitive. So I do think, in a sense, maybe not necessarily that he's been like in danger of being fired, but I think he's probably been under more intense fan scrutiny than T. Mills is right, though. He does have absolutely the safest job in America.
He does.
But I will say I think he's probably been under more fan scrutiny than for I'll say for mediocre finishes than any other coach in the league. Right. And what I'll say is, like, you all remember, we lived through this. There was a large contingent of this fan base that seemed to think that the year we went, 8 or 9, 6-1 or something, that year we tied the Browns. Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
There were people that thought that 9, 6-1 was rock bottom. Like, you guys remember this.
Oh,
this happened, right?
Yeah.
There were people that like, this is rock bottom. This is so bad. I can't believe we got screwed out of a call against the against the Saints. That was the Joe Hayden.
Hayden,
yeah.
Kamara.
And we missed the playoffs. They're like, this is rock. This is the worst, right? And like, how entitled are we as Steelers fans? That
Ian, I have to interrupt you for this comment.
All right.
T. Mills says he delivers more mediocre finishes than I deliver to my poor wife.
we need a special Casey letter.
Wow. Okay. Finish up,
T. Mills. That is outstanding work there. But okay, so just to conclude my point is that, like, Mike Tomlin has gotten more scrutiny for those kind of finishes, right?
Yes.
Than probably any normal coach would. Like, and yes, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have a higher standard of expectation, all that stuff. I completely understand that.
Yeah.
But, like, if Mike Tomlin was coaching the Atlanta Falcons and finished 9-6-1 and missed the playoffs, they'd be like, this is a fucking great season. We haven't had 9 wins in, or Tampa Bay, right? Like, there are, and this is what I understand when people in the national media say, oh, Tomlin could get a job at 25 other organizations right away. Like, yeah, there's 25 other organizations that would think 9-6-1 is a great friggin' year, right?
Yes.
So I get it, but at the same time, as a Steelers fan, it's absolutely frustrating because we have a different standard of expectation as Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Yeah.
And I think Tomlin understands that too, because he's referenced that he's like, I'm the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's a level of expectation here that I have to live up to.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're overthinking it. I think, Tomlin could get a job with another team very easily. There's no question.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'd make him general manager. I think that Tomlin is regarded as a good coach because he takes trash rosters and makes something out of them. But like I was telling you guys this week, I think that we have to be honest about what this team is and how it's gotten here. And in order to move past it, you have to be honest and improve. Try to improve.
Yeah.
And how involved has Mike been in roster construction? Because these rosters are not good. We've talked about this over and over again. I mean, the 2018 through 2022 drafts, trash,
not good,
terrible draft classes.
Not good.
And the last couple are seemingly better. And that's, last couple or three. And that's, it's great. And we'll see where things go. And I think a lot of that young talent is right on schedule. And I told you guys before that I think they should place more emphasis on doing extensions with the guys that are coming into their fourth year this year, rather than worrying about losing their free agents, because there's a lot more meat on the bone there, so to speak, with those young players, rather than trying to extend these old guys that maybe should move on. Because they're not that good, and then they're overcompensated relative to their contributions here. But again, what the organization needs to do, and Mike too, is just acknowledge what they are and be honest about it, and do some hard self-reflection and say, hey, this is what we are, and this is how we got here, and how involved again has Mike been with roster construction. Why doesn't Mike's defensive scheme work anymore? Is Mike too concerned with turning the ball over on offense and too conservative as a result ever since Ben retired? Because Ben didn't give a shit. Ben took all kinds of chances. He was just like, yep, I can put the ball there, no problem. And they were like, yeah, let Ben be Ben, because, I mean, he can do that, but there aren't a lot of guys who can. We do have a guy right now who's got the big arm and can fit it in the window. But we have another guy behind him who can't, who throws the ball into triple coverage and it gets picked, So I get it. I get it when you're coaching those guys who got athletic limitations like Kenny Pickett had, and you're going, listen, you can't turn the ball over. You can't take that shot. You can't. This is not college.
Yeah.
This is not college. You can't do that anymore.
Right.
Everybody at this level is good. That Jude will jump that route, and it's a pick six. You can't do it. So I understand it, but by the same token, again, getting back to my original point, how involved has Mike been in roster construction? And should he have less say in what's going to happen there?
Well, and that might be the $64,000 question once this season ends.
Let's just say hypothetically you're the Giants owner and you're going to hire Mike Tomlin because he's a free agent. Do you give him control of football operations? Because I think if you do, you're kind of dumb.
He does not strike me as that type, and I would hope nobody would. But to answer a question that was asked by EYBX 2006, I think that's still up in the air about Rodgers in next year. Every time I think there's no way in hell that he'll be back, he has a game like he had on Sunday, and I go, I'm with you, Ben. I don't think
he's
so.
Not getting better. He's not getting better.
No,
and expecting him to be able to carry this team next season, unless he wants to come back and mentor a young player and bring him along. As the guy who is essentially the bridge quarterback who's going to give it up mid-season to a young quarterback who's going to take over, and he's going to advise that kid and teach him how to play the position, which I don't think that Aaron's ego will allow him to do. I don't
agree.
See that as a good fit.
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, I don't expect too many more games like we saw last Sunday. I just don't.
And just real quick about Mike, when I heard him say that, like, I want to be respectful of how Mike feels, and I do think that he probably believes that he has been on the hot seat for 19 years or 18 years, and I respect that.
Yeah,
we
can't tell him how to feel.
Exactly, you know? and I say that because
he's not on the hot seat.
Okay, he's not okay. So I don't think he's on the hot seat. I don't think he's ever been on the hot seat. He has had multiple collapses at the end of seasons. He's had bad starts to seasons, and he hasn't won a playoff game in the last 8 seasons.
Right.
But the point I want to make, though, is that perhaps he has always felt this way because he was an unknown candidate who had only had 1 year in the NFL with coordinator experience as a defensive coordinator in 2006 for the Vikings under Brad Childress as the head coach. So is he saying it because he thinks that he may or may not should have gotten the job in the first place, and that he's always trying to prove himself to people?
When the Steelers hired Mike, they basically did it because they were so impressed with him through the interview process, and then they talked to the people.
He's good at talking. I'm an asshole, but I get it.
What a dick!
I mean, oh shit! Yeah. I forgot to plug in my laptop.
Do you? Like
Quick comment. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers should be forced to wear those uniforms all the time.
Yeah, I think we all agree with
that. Those uniforms should be mandatory. Just also, like we should be mandatory to wear block numerals. I digress. Go ahead, Scripps.
But also too, and I'm not afraid to have this conversation. But like Mike is a minority head coach in the league, and we all know that it's tough for minorities to get head coaching jobs in the league. And Mike has been at the helm for almost 20 years, so I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's maybe some of that is there. But I've never, at least me, I've never said Mike was a bad coach. I've never said that. I've always said that he's a coach that's been really great, and then he lost his fastball and he's trying to regain it. And it's taken him a long time to regain it, though. So I think as much as I think his seat is cold, I think that he thinks that his seat is hot.
Yeah,
I could totally understand why he thinks that.
Yeah, no, I see exactly what your point is. And by the way, T Mills loves seeing the first round get shrunk down. Absolutely,
yes,
absolutely, great move.
Yeah,
great move by the NFL. Love it, Ben.
I think that Tomlin was hired because he was seen by a lot of people, not just the Steelers, not just Dan and Art, but by a lot of people as a guy who definitely was going to be a head coach. And they were just like, okay, this guy is going to be a head coach anyway. He's going to be a star. Fuck it. Let's hire him now. He did have 1 year as a DC before he was hired. They saw a guy who was going to be that guy. And so they hired him.
Yeah.
But let's be frank. I mean, Tomlin's even admitted he was too hard on the team in 2007. And in his opinion, they underachieved because of it. Like he ran the wheels off that team in practices that year. And as a result, they didn't quite come through at the end. There, they made the playoffs, but they weren't good. Johnny Sins.
He's as effective now as Johnny Sins with ED.
Arms, you're muted.
I want to make it clear. I want to make it clear that it's not my burner or Casey's burner.
Oh, wow.
Anyway. I don't think Mike's ever been on the hot seat. I think saying I've been on the hot seat for 19 years is a little ridiculous. I'm sorry. Mike knows. Mike's been in this league for a long time.
I don't disagree.
Knows.
Yeah.
He knows when guys are going to get fired and when they're not, and when they're under scrutiny, when they're not. And yeah, Mike knows he's under fan scrutiny, but whatever, man. That comes with the job. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers coach, you are under fan scrutiny. So it almost doesn't fucking matter because it just comes with the job. Like owners are never going to look at that and go, oh yeah, the fans are being hard on you. We really should consider firing you. It's not like that in Pittsburgh because it doesn't matter if you're fucking winning. No. You could go 15-1 and they'd be like, you should have won that one game. And if you don't win the Super Bowl, we're going to be fucking pissed.
Yep. No doubt about it. Tua Tagovailoa comes into town on Monday night, guys. Right now, the forecast. I think so.
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
That's a lot of vowels, man.
It's a lot of vowels. Pat, I'll take a vowel. He is 0-7 all time in games in which the kickoff temperature is 45 degrees or under. Right now, the forecast for Pittsburgh at 8 p.m. on Monday night is 20 degrees with winds to 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's fucked.
He is, but boy, that running game scares me. And
he's winless under 40 degrees.
Yes, totally winless. So it would be just like us to give him his first dub, and I don't want to see that happen. To me, this is all about that running game. If we can shut down the Miami running game or force turnovers, I think we'll be fine. But man, that's asking a lot because that offense, that running game is solid. A-Chain can rip it anytime. I mean, he can take it the distance. So we're going to have some serious gap integrity. And that's something that I don't know that we've done a real good job with in recent weeks. Yeah. Shall we do predictions?
We can keep talking about the Dolphins. I mean, I think we've said
a little more Dolphin talk.
Yeah,
I mean, it's only $1.16 in. Let's go.
Let's keep doing it.
They have a lot of speed on offense.
They do.
But Waddle. And the thing I always go back to with the Dolphins is every time I've seen the Dolphins play, they look so schematically dominant for part of the game, whether it's the first quarter, the first half, whatever it is. And then they just forget how to play football for another part of the game, which is just mind-boggling. That's how do you go from, looking like you're totally outclassing your opponents to looking like you have no idea what a football is? And they've done this time and time again that we've seen them run up the score in the first half and then just totally shit themselves the second half.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. But I've seen it happen so often now that I'm I guess this is a thing that happens with this team, that they just forget how to play football.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's a very good description of it. And they have an interesting thing too, where I think if they score 20 or more in a game, they're unbeaten.
Yeah.
So
and some of that I would go back to their head coach. I mean, McDaniel is a smart offensive mind. He's proven that before.
Right.
But, there's only so many rah-rah speeches you can kind of give your guys before they're okay, shut the fuck up.
I don't think I just don't get the sense this team is very committed to not just winning, but to each other. They're not committed to the process. It isn't that they forget how to play. They just kind of don't care.
Are you talking about Miami?
I'm talking about Miami.
Yeah.
And I just don't see a team there that is again, that is committed to the process. I think the Steelers have been leading at halftime in 10 games this season, which is second most in the NFL. Yeah. They've also dumped a lot of games in the second half, but the Dolphins are the kind of club that if you get a lead on them, they just quit. They just fucking quit. They're they just don't have any staying power. They don't play for each other. They don't play for pride. They don't play for their coach. They just go out there and they're collecting a check because they're supposed to. This is the schedule I'm on, and I'm supposed to be here at this time. So I'm going to go out and play because this is what I do. I play football. If McDaniel, I'm surprised he's still employed, to be honest with you. But if he's there next year, holy shit.
Well, if you talk to anybody that's, Dolphins fan that knows the Dolphins situation down there, they'll flat out tell you that he's basically saved his job, at least for this year. Because they were dog shit. They were, most people's first choice is he would be the guy fired first, and that didn't happen. They stuck with him. They gave him the all important, okay, he's our guy for the rest of the year regardless, and they seem to start playing better as a result of that. But Tua is always literally, as most NFL players are, but especially him, he's literally one play from being done.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I honestly, I hope that doesn't happen versus the Steelers.
I hope it doesn't happen. Period.
I think it's going to happen at some point.
I do too.
Like, he's going to get hit in the head, and he'll be laying there doing the fencing thing on the ground, and that'll be that.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Ben, and I don't want to see it happen on Monday night either. But I think it is going to happen at some point in his career, which is just awful. But
Dude should have retired already, honestly.
Yeah. But no Tyreek Hill, obviously, as Big Pun points out, he's out of there, but they seem to start spreading the ball around a little bit more.
They have Waddle and they have the running back, and
I think anybody that thinks this is going to be a cakewalk on Monday night,
not at all.
I would think differently, because they're not going to come up here to lay down. They still have opportunities. They got themselves in the playoff picture. Granted, they need to win. They need some help, but this is by no means going to be a gimme coming up on Monday night.
None of them are.
And by the way, we are 0-3 in night games this year.
Shut up, Mark.
Thank you very much.
That means we're due.
It also, we are 31-5 all time at home on Monday Night Football. So there's that too.
There's that.
Truer words have never been spoken. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. By Melvin right there. It's the Steelers. It's never a cakewalk.
It's true.
No.
Yeah, it's true. No,
Melvin, you're a fucking hater, although you're right.
Yeah. Is it a classic Tomlin trap game coming up?
Shut up.
So
Scarps.
So the Dolphins are 5-1 in their last 6 games.
Yeah. Yes, this is a great point. Go make this point, please.
The Dolphins are 5-1 in their last 6 games.
Yeah,
and when they run the ball 30 or more times, they're 5-1. And the only loss they have is against the Ravens, and I think that was an emotional game for the Ravens, and that was in late October. And I always say this is that it's not about who you play; it's when you play them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're not doing we didn't say predictions yet.
Not yet.
The Dolphins absolutely want to run the ball.
Yes.
And I know Tua has struggled in cold weather, and I was trying to look this up, but my browser isn't working. How many times has Tua thrown the ball in cold weather situations? Like, do teams actually shut down the run and it makes them throw? So that's what the Steelers need to do. However, the Dolphins have been a totally different team since October. And, they lost Tyreek Hill. They traded away players. They traded one of their guys to us, and we traded one of our guys to them.
Right.
And I think it was a pretty decent trade for both teams. And we'll see what happens Monday night. But, yeah, the Dolphins want to run the ball, and they got quality running backs. Achane is really good, but Ollie Gordon's good, and then Jalen Wright is good. So yeah, I have some concerns.
Absolutely. And with that, let's go ahead and go to predictions. Anybody want to lead it off tonight?
No.
Look at Dom coming in here with statistics. The Dolphins have one win against a team with a winning record.
Fair point. However, also let's not forget that the Dolphins are coming into this game with a 6-7 record, which is the same record.
Dom, we have 2
that
wins
that your children talk about every day at home.
They do, yes, but also
we have 2.
Also, it's the same record as both the Ravens and the Chiefs. So, considering how this NFL season started,
crazy.
Who would have thought that the Ravens and the Chiefs and the Dolphins would have the same record at this point in the year?
Insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and go first then.
Let's go, Still Dad.
Yeah, let's do it. Ooh, boy, gonna be cold, gonna be a little breezy. I think that helps the Steelers a little bit. Those Miami folks are not gonna want to get off the plane when they feel that frigid air hitting them. But I do expect this to be a tough one. I don't think Miami's gonna roll over by any stretch.
What's the wind chill gonna be?
My junior meteorology set here in front of me tells me that if it's 10 miles an hour, it won't be below 0, but it's going to be cold.
It's going to be fucking cold.
Single digit,
which makes it harder to run the ball.
It makes it hard to do anything. And look, I think the one constant, I don't care if it's 95 degrees or 95 degrees below, the one constant is Chris Boswell. And I think he always comes through in those moments. Give me the Steelers on Monday Night Football to win this football game. Let's go with 22, Dolphins 13.
All right.
I'll go next.
Okay, never mind, Ian. You go next.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead. Rogers should roll all night.
Shut up, Aaron. I knew that was coming at some point.
So I will say that every time I've picked the Steelers this year, they have lost.
Oh, boy.
So
really?
Every time?
Yeah, every time.
Oh, boy.
Every time I've picked them, they've lost.
Yay.
So, in the interest of doing my best Andrew Filipponi impression and Filipponiing myself, so that is the full disclosure of what I am saying here.
Okay.
I will go. I do think the Steelers win this game, but I don't want to jinx them. Okay. So I'm maybe I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. But I will go in a low-scoring, grinded-out, weird-ass game, Dolphins 16-14, but that's not actually what I think is going to happen.
So what should I write down?
Write Dolphins 16-14.
Okay,
I've been wrong. Every time I pick the Steelers to win, they lose. And
16 to 30 points? Wow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's hard to go against. Scarps, go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, again, it's about, when who you play and when you play them. I think it's going to be close, but the Steelers haven't lost on Monday Night Football in about
they've won
5 billion years.
Yep.
But you know what? I also do as Ian said, I also do better when I pick against the Steelers. I'm going to go 24-21 Dolphins, but I also believe that could be the final score either way.
All right. Ben?
My picks have been all over the fucking place this year because this season is fucking impossible.
It really is.
To pick. It just is. It's just been like you think they're gonna win, they fucking lose. You think they're gonna lose, they fucking win. So I'm just calling them the way I see them now. I'm done.
Yep.
I think
I
think Tua turns the ball over a couple of times because the Dolphins get behind, either a couple of picks or a pick and a fumble, garbage time touchdown to make it close-ish, but not close enough. Steelers 24, Dolphins 21.
Oof.
Ooh.
What is the spread right now, by the way?
We're on the same page.
43.5 is the
43.5?
over-under.
Okay.
The spread is 3 Steelers.
Okay. All right.
Zane Gonzalez about to go for the win here. The kick for the Dolphins. The kick for the Dolphins. Kick for the Falcons. I'm drunk. Kick for the Falcons. Zane Gonzalez, who's about as reliable as a broken condom. Let's see what he can do. We're going to call this live from
play-by-play on the live Thursday night game.
43 yards.
IBIX 2006
the Dolphins have had 4 kickers. The Dolphins. He stuck it in. He stuck it in like Scarpino at the senior prom. The Buccaneers just lost.
Man, they
IBIX 2006 predicts an Adam Thielen touchdown. IBIX or whatever, how the hell you pronounce your name. I'm gonna predict a couple of Adam Thielen first downs. I don't know about a touchdown.
Okay, all right. I think
Adam Thielen
involved this week.
Adam Thielen's sole job with the Steelers, the only reason they signed him was to get open on third down and move the fucking chains. That's it.
Holy shit!
Wow.
That's the only thing that he was signed for. That's the only reason.
I'm just as good as drunk as Romo. So,
and for as bad as the AFC North is, the NFC South is worse.
Oh, way worse.
That is
way worse.
Bad division.
You know what?
The division I thought was going to be really fucking awesome, like top to bottom, was the NFC North. No, that didn't quite work out that way. Don't get me wrong. The Packers are good. Like, they're a contender. Everybody else,
Ryan's going to bring up that he picked the Panthers to have a good year.
And you picked the Dolphins to make the playoffs.
I did. I picked the Bears, too, though. The Bears are looking pretty good.
They'll make the playoffs, but
real quick before we get to
I picked the 49ers, too, by the way. But
Melvin has mentioned Roman Wilson.
They weren't part of the injury, the ambulance squad.
Can I go first for the Roman Wilson talk?
Yeah, go for it, Scarps, because he didn't get a helmet last week.
It's just, excuse me, burp.
Are you going to try to explain why Roman Wilson sucks?
I've been critical of Roman Wilson, but also to me, this is about who does Rodgers have faith in, and I don't think Rodgers has faith in Pat Freiermuth. I don't think Rodgers has faith in Roman Wilson, and because MVS and Adam Thielen, and you know what? Yeah, they might create space, and maybe that's all they're looking to do, but eventually teams are going to figure that shit out. There's not a lot of tape on Roman Wilson.
Late in the game, late in the year.
There's not a lot of tape on Roman Wilson, but there is a lot of tape on MVS and Adam Thielen, and that's great that once again, how many fucking has-beens or wannabes do we want to turn into folk heroes? And that's my point. Thing is eventually you got to understand.
I want Duck Hodges to come back,
but it's
a little busy right now.
Yeah, with that big old booty from Lady Wolf. All due respect. All due respect. All due respect. But no, I'm gonna give Roman Wilson a hat, and I don't give a shit what my fucking ancient quarterback says. Wow. But you know what? They put themselves. I don't think
the coaches don't trust him. The coaches don't trust him.
Yeah,
and I don't understand why, but they don't trust him, and they didn't trust him last year. So it's more of the same shit. This guy either can't be trusted to know his assignments and is freelancing, or that's it. I mean, I don't think he's having problems catching the ball. I think it's just that the coaches don't fucking trust him still.
Yeah,
which is depressing.
Yeah. And Tomlin has always defaulted to trusting his veterans, right?
Yes.
James Pierre was outplaying Darius Slay this year, and they still were running Slay out there. And then finally they're like, we'll just cut him, I guess, because they really realized that Pierre was playing a lot better than him. And Pierre rewarded them with having a pick this week, and Slay didn't even go to Buffalo. So Tomlin has always defaulted to trusting his veterans. And I think, the more veterans that he's assembled with these guys that, with MVS and with Thielen, he's like, oh, I've got more veterans I can run out there. Okay, we're going to do that.
Very
so
true.
I that's what it comes down to me, is he has always defaulted to the veterans over the young guys.
I totally agree.
Even if the young guys are more explosive. But I think, if you want to talk about these old veterans, right? Thielen, MVS, other guys, they're kind of like high floor, low ceiling guys. And I think Tomlin has always liked that more than the variability of a really low floor, really high ceiling kind of guy.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Casey Kasem is in the house.
Okay.
Is he ready? Is he ready to roll?
Let's try this.
The fan club is ready. Let's do it.
Casey's Coast to Coast American Top 40. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the week that was December 11th, 1984. Our favorite correspondent and non-ball knower, Ryan, is back with us again this week, and he writes, Dear Casey, well, I tried to tell you so, but I guess you didn't know. As the saddest story goes, baby, now I got the flow. 'Cause I knew it from the start, Steelers fans would try to break my heart. That I had to come again and show you that I'd win. Return of the mic. Casey, that's of course a parody of Mark Morrison's Return of the Mac, released in early March of 1996. Wow. However, we don't have any time to talk about Mr. Non-Losing Seasons, but we will talk about one of his closest friends and partners in crime when it comes to harassing officials at North Catholic high school football games.
Oh, my alma mater.
Joey Porter Sr. Casey, in case you missed it, Peasy Sr. joined Cameron Hayward's I Don't Know If I Can Feed My Family podcast. And Peasy Sr. sounded off about how he doesn't like former Steelers taking shots at the team. Well, Joey, I didn't appreciate all the shots you took at the flats on the south side and got arrested after the Steelers' second to last playoff victory, and afterwards I had to clean up your mess. I also didn't like the shots you took at Whippeal officials when your son was playing at North Catholic. At least once, you ran onto the field to harass an official, kind of like you ran into the Steelers draft room and begged Omar to take your son.
That didn't
I'm
happen.
sure Joey's watching because he watches all the podcasts as well. We'll hear it. Here's the exact quote. They got different agendas. It's been a Steelers culture rule. Like, no matter when we don't like something, what good does it do to tear us down? Another Steeler or another guy that's in our building. And he mentioned a former Steeler in particular, James Harrison, who had arguably the greatest play in Super Bowl history, but no big deal. Well, Peasy, I don't recall James Harrison talking about you on his podcast, but you felt the need to bring up his name on Cam's podcast. Perhaps next time you could go on a show that features a Steeler who actually won something.
I mean, Joey actually won something.
You did.
Just saying.
You did. You muted yourself, Casey.
Sorry. But,
Casey's had some drinks.
But Cam did. Joey, you could go on Ben Roethlisberger's podcast, but he's a hater, just like James Harrison and yours truly. Yours truly. It's funny. Though we've forged different paths and have had different successes, finally, me, Ben Roethlisberger, and James Harrison have something in common. We all have an axe to grind with our former employer.
Jesus.
Or at least the asshole loser fucking wannabes on Twitter say so. we should probably just go root for another team or cry harder or accept the aura and vibes. Casey, that's not just us. When it comes to the constructive criticism, we, or they can't hold back. Well, Ryan, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars and keep your radio tuned right where it is. At number 13 this week, here's Survivor with I Can't Hold Back.
Oh, Survivor. Was that off the Rocky IV album, by the way?
That was the Eye of the Tiger.
Well, I know,
yeah.
but was it? Okay.
No.
That wasn't? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
I think, that was Burning Heart, but no.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
That's
Burning
off
Heart.
of. So after Eye of the Tiger, Survivor fired their lead singer and brought in a new guy, and he was like the most successful singer. So
unbelievable.
Oh.
See, these are the things I learned.
I didn't know that.
It just goes to show that you can have success with a lead guy, fire him, bring somebody else in.
Wow.
Better.
Look at the way it comes around. Yeah, I think Eye of the Tiger was Rocky III. My bad. Yeah, I got off on the tangent there.
Hey, by the way, shout out to some of the new people in the chat or the people that haven't been here for a while. Yes. Like, you guys were great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always great to have everybody.
The chat actually really kicked ass tonight, except for Ian adding his 2 cents. But everybody else, you guys were great.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for being here tonight, as always. And enjoy the game coming up Monday night. And hopefully it's a Steelers win because it makes going into work on Tuesday morning so much nicer.
God, I hate Monday night games.
Right. I'm not a fan either, but it is what it is. Check out the site, steelcityblitz.com, and check us out on all of our socials. We'd love it if you liked, subscribed, joined up as a member, and all that wonderful stuff. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks so much. And as always, go Steelers.
Ravens suck.
Yeah, they sure do.
We've had some drinks.